All right, well, on this show, we cover what world leaders have to say because we think it's important. When President Biden speaks, we cover it. When Vladimir Zelensky speaks, we cover it. When Xi Jinping says something, we cover it. When the president of Serbia, Vučić, speaks, we cover it because when world leaders speak, it has, huge implications, right? So Vladimir Putin, speaking yesterday at a conference, took time out to basically slam the West, but not specifically just the West, like Western countries, the United States, Europe, etc., but he was specifically talking about globalists. These World Economic Forum globalists who make these sort of wild moves on climate, and he really slammed the West on going into other countries, poor countries. He talked about Africa, going into these countries, and the United States going in and basically exploiting their resources, going into these other countries and taking their lithium, their gold, their precious metals, their oil, like the United States is currently doing in Syria. So I want to play this sound. We translated it for you, so we put subtitles up on the screen for you. I want you to watch it. It's about a minute long. And then we'll have a discussion about it on the back side of this. Watch.
Не может предложить миру свою модель будущего. Да, конечно, этот золотой миллиард не случайно стал золотым. Добился очень многого. Но не только занял свои такие позиции благодаря каким-то реализованным идеям. В значительной степени он занял свои позиции за счет грабежа других народов. И в Азии, и в Африке. Ну как же, так и было. Индию он сколько грабили. И сегодня элиты этого золотого миллиарда панически боятся, что другие центры мирового развития могут представить свои варианты развития. Но как бы западные и так называемые наднациональные элиты не стремились сохранить существующий порядок вещей, наступает все-таки новая эпоха, новый этап в мировой истории. И только подлинно суверенные государства могут обеспечить высокую динамику роста, стать примером для других в стандартах и качестве жизни людей, в защите традиционных ценностей и высоких гуманистических идеалов, модели развития, в которых человек становится не средством, а высшей целью.
Interesting, right? We play it to discuss your thoughts on this. I mean, slamming this new world order, this is exactly what we've been hearing from the White House. We heard from Brian Deese a few weeks ago calling it this is all part of the transition. This is all part of the liberal world order. Declare climate emergencies, use the cover of the pandemic to run businesses out, right? To consolidate power. We're going to talk a little bit later in the show about Bill Gates buying up all of this land, taking away power. We see this with the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization taking away power in the United States from the United States, pushing it to these unelected globalist leaders who then are going to tell you what to do. We're going to consolidate a currency, not use the euro, not use the United States dollar, not use any of that. We're going to put it under one roof. And by the way, we're going to use military might. We're going to go into countries in Africa. We're going to go into Latin America. If you watch unbelievable interviews with some military leaders over the past few days out of SOCOM, out of the Southern Strategic Command, talking about like going into like Latin America and the Caribbean and talking about like, man, you guys have so many precious metals down here, the lithium that you guys have, all of the stuff. And we are here to protect you. We're here to protect you. And it's United States interest for us to protect you and all of your resources and all of the minerals, because we don't want these minerals getting into the hands of nefarious people. So the United States, we are here to protect your minerals and your oil.
Well, I don't know about all of that, but I have been reading Douglas Murray's book, The War on the West. And he talks about how, this is what's going through my head as I see this, because this is something that he absolutely predicted, is that because neoliberals have us so primed, right, to say that everyone in the West is greedy, there's a 1% rule, the West likes to dominate the rest of the world, everyone in the West is a racist, everyone in the West who's cisgendered is privileged, right, and that our entire fortune is based on slavery and, more atrocities than any other people, that there's this self-loathing going on in the West that our enemies can exploit. And so someone like Vladimir Putin or any other Eastern or, non-aligned leader can say, look what the West has done. They've done all of these things. And most of us in the West who want to be sort of open to thought, who've been sort of, agreeing with this, we have racism in our society, we're built on slavery, okay, you're right, are sort of quick to jump on this war of the West and sort of ignore any good that may be a part of Western culture, and that we should reject that and sort of decide what it is we want, not just agree that, we're Westerners, so we must be bad.
Well, I can tell you what we want, which is stop colonizing other countries, stop plundering other countries for their minerals and resources, right? Here's the United States sitting on massive amounts of natural resources. One of the great breadbaskets of the world, one of the great mineral breadbaskets of the world, right? So instead you cancel leases so that companies can't access your, but we'll go to your country, we'll steal your oil in Syria. So here's one thing we can stop doing is telling other people how to live and also then imposing ourselves on other people. Right? The UK is going to just tell people how to live. It's going to go, that's
Right,
what
but
they do best, right?
isn't this part of Putin's point right here is that we don't want to live like they do, right? I don't know if they're saying everyone should live like we do, but they want to live the way that he says, which seems to be, in some ways a bit intolerant about, I don't know, certain sexualities or what have you, right? I'm not advocating one way or the other, but I don't want to just sort of jump on this like, oh, he's right, the West always does bad things narrative either.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's also divisive to just say the good, bad, and that's
Yes.
why one of my favorite publications is Max Blumenthal and Aaron Mate, who write over at the Gray Zone. The name of their publication is called the Gray Zone for a reason. You have white, you have black, and then what happens in the Gray Zone is really where all of this stuff to me is the most important stuff.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not always pretty. It's not always cut and dry. And that's where, you got to get your hands dirty a little bit for things to have real change.
Well, we don't have to agree with them, right? But it's important that we understand what the narrative is around Putin and other Russians who do agree with the war and why they would feel this way because they don't want Western creep of Western culture. That's fine, right? But just sort of throwing the baby out with the bathwater and say, well, all things Western are racist and classist and,
No, but I think what he's saying
stuff.
in that speech when he's specifically talking about like these globalists are deciding for people around the world how to live their lives, and we don't want that. Like these globalists are declaring a climate emergency, which then forces farmers to lose their land, to lose their livelihood. To you can't use fertilizer anymore. You can't do any of that. So by these unelected globalists, so he's specifically talking about globalists and the New World Order.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with it.
I don't want that either. Sure, right.
Yeah.
But I am, trying to parse out the nuance of what Vladimir Putin wants, and, I wouldn't want it in the reverse, right?
No, but so many, think about it, the millions of Americans that voted for this, right? That voted for, hey, yes, we've got to, you know what, we're liberal elites we live outside of New York City, we're liberal elites in Massachusetts, et cetera, and we've got our wealthy property, we drive our Teslas, we drive our electric cars, and we're going to tell other people how to live. So we're going to take away farms because eating meat is bad. We're going to, we want to make sure that you can't do that anymore. That's leading to climate change. So yeah, we're going to get on board with all of these things that these guys come up with at the World Economic Forum, and we vote them in, right? So these people, I didn't vote for them. I certainly didn't vote for them, but you've got people that voted for these people. Millions of people voted for Hillary Clinton. Millions of people voted for this.
Yeah.
Millions of people voted for Biden. Millions of people voted for the Squad and all of these people that promised this this green change and all of this stuff, and it's been a total disaster.
Yes.
And now people are going to have to vote them out. I mean, that's what's going to have to happen here. Laura Reeves says, I'm Italian. I lived in the UK for 20 years, Mexico for 5 years, Netherlands for the past 6. Politicians are gross everywhere. Yeah, like where are politicians like squeaky clean? Honestly, back in the day, think about politicians back in the day that didn't make a career out of it. In the early part of the in the 17 and 1800s in the United States, you had farmers, you had people who worked the land, and they would come to Washington for a short amount of time, and they would go back.
Yeah.
And they weren't career politicians. And now you see people like Nancy Pelosi and Richard Shelby who have battleships being built in his backyard in Alabama so that he can make money off of it, so that he can, these pet projects that are in their backyard because they're career politicians.
Right. Yes.
So, I mean, this is the disaster. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Moomoo. Do you want an amazing trading platform that gives you zero commission trades and has access to over 50 different major financial markets? Yeah, that's Moomoo. And they are a NASDAQ-listed company with a market value of $6 billion. This is no small brokerage. And they just added their Australian market. That's right. So all of our Australian listeners, go ahead and sign up. We'll have a link in our description and how you can get up to $25,000 in free stocks. That's right. 10 free stocks when you open an account plus an 11th bonus stock. What I love about Moomoo is how easy it is. The platform is clean, easy, and simple. They've got up-to-the-minute news alerts so you can sign up for your favorite stocks and get news that's relevant to you and your trading. They've got an entire university built in. So if you're new to trading, you're new to investing, just go through and take some of their free courses that are inside of the Moomoo platform. So before you ever spend any of your own money to buy certain companies, whatever it is you're going to do, just take some time and learn how to do it inside of their easy-to-learn university programs inside of the app. Again, zero commission trades, free level 2 trading data. It's an amazing platform. You all should be checking it out right now. Just go to redacted.inc/Moomoo today to get those free bonus stocks. Learn everything you can about the Moomoo platform. They do an amazing job. Again, they've just added their Australian market, so please go check them out. We'll have a link in the description below. You do not want to miss an opportunity this summer with their summer special to get up to $25,000 in bonuses just for opening an account with Moomoo. Our thanks to them for supporting the show.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. You know, we've been banned, we've been blocked, we've been censored. That's why we started our own website to stay connected with you for free.
That's right. So head on over to redacted.inc and make sure you're connected with us. You can sign up again at redacted.inc, not .com.